Hello, we are back. Did y'all think I tossed in the towel on podcasting? So we're just getting started, you guys. Episode 175. What the heck? How did we get here? And I know I took a couple weeks off. I'm sorry if I scared you. We're not quitting the podcast. Truly, we're just getting started. But what I realized is that I needed to switch it up a little bit, you guys. I've been doing this for going on 3 years now, and it's been great. Love it. Still love it. And something about me is that I got to change things up. I can't keep doing the same thing the same way for too long of a time, or I tend to get bored. So here we are. I am in my local podcasting studio, which I didn't even know existed until very recently. And we're switching it up. I'm going to try this out, see how it goes. Beautiful part about this is that there is plenty of space for me to have guests here in person, which is super cool and something I haven't had the opportunity to do. And that will give me an opportunity to connect more with my local community, which is a huge goal of mine right now in my business overall. So that's the update on the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your patience. And let's just dive right into it. So I want to quite literally just hand you a virtual permission slip, okay, for whatever it is that you have been wanting to do, thinking about doing, maybe putting off, maybe letting self-doubt or intrusive thoughts creep in and stop you from showing up to the things that you know ideally you want to create or pursue in your life. And I was recently sent this post from a friend, which is what sparked up this conversation. But it was essentially this idea to have, they called it a $1 million sleepover. And so what the sleepover is that you get together your girlfriends, and not going to lie, when I heard about this, I was like, this could be like a retreat situation for sure, where I invite entrepreneurs or women with a goal on their heart to get together and do this quote unquote $1 million sleepover. And there's different phases of this sleepover, but essentially the concept is that you bring an idea to the table, something that you have been thinking about, dreaming about, maybe just something that's like been on your mind of like, ooh, that could be a good idea, but how could I? It would be too hard. I don't even know where to start. And let's just take away the concept of the $1 million idea, because let's be honest, that's intimidating. And you know, we're all about baby steps here, right? So let's call it the $100 idea or the $1,000 idea. And maybe for some of you, it is the $1 million idea. And you know, I freaking love that. But what is the idea that you want to bring to life? Bringing that to this sleepover and then having a community of, in this case, women, but men, you could do this too, okay? But having a community of people that are going to support you in this goal of yours. And so what you're doing first is you're just sharing it. You're saying out loud what it is that you want, because we know there's so much power when we put our energy into the things that we want, when we claim things and are saying them out loud. It's a big just invitation to the universe of, hey, I'm ready. Like I'm putting this out here and I'm ready. So saying it out loud. And then using the people that are joining you at the sleepover to brainstorm, you know, what could this look like? What could potentially be the next step? Who do they know? Who's in the room that knows somebody that can help you start making progress on this goal of yours? And the idea is that you do all this at the one sleepover, and then this becomes like a quarterly thing. So when you leave, you have action items. Hopefully you had somebody in that room that's going to be helping you with those action items or reaching out to somebody on your behalf to help you move forward with those action items. And then ideally, you're going to meet up in a few months and you're going to report back on what's the progress that you've made. What do you still need to do? Are there words of encouragement that you need to hear? Like, what do you actually need to get this thing going? And how can these people support you? And I think this is such an amazing concept. I love it. Uh, you might see it from me someday on a business level. But what it really got me thinking about is that this is such a beautiful concept. And I think that a lot of times we are waiting for some sort of permission slip. We're waiting to get in the room where somebody's going to say, that's a great idea, or have you thought of this, or I know this person that knows this person and I can really help you out with this. And we're waiting for this external validation to tell us what we already know that we want to create or what we want to do. And a lot of times that's the thing that's hindering us from making progress. And as long as we're waiting for that validation, as long as we're waiting for somebody to hype us up or to show us the way, then it's like we just kind of put the hopes, the dreams, the desires on the back burner. And then it prolongs us to getting to where we want to be for, longer than it needs to take. And I know that for me, like even, in my previous career, knowing that it was time for a shift, there was such a big part of me and such an extended period of time that I truly sat and waited for somebody to give me like the idea. Tell me what I should do. Please tell me what I should do. Please offer me the job. Please, like anybody, help me out because I don't know how to help myself or I don't know where to start. And honestly, it felt too overwhelming to even begin to make progress on that. And so what that looked like for me is sitting in a situation that I knew I had outgrown, in a career that I knew that I had lost all passion for years. And so whether it's your career or something that you're trying to create in this life, maybe it's a relationship, whatever it is for you, that you know that it is time for you to move forward, move on, do the thing. I today want to hand you this permission slip. I want to just give you that little pep talk that, you know what, the only thing holding you back is you waiting for somebody to give you the seal of approval. The only thing holding you back is you taking that first step and seeing the steps that come after. We've talked about this on this podcast so many times, but it's like, I get this from my clients constantly of like, I don't even know what the first step is. Just take any step. It doesn't have to be the right one. And the first one, it might not be that clear, but you can guess. I know you are all very smart people. Take a guess. What's something that you could try or that you could explore? What's a freaking Google search that you could be doing? Maybe you could talk to ChatGPT about it. Like the babyest step is going to set you in the right direction. And that is how things fall into place, you guys. I mean, I'm going to be celebrating 5 years of my business, which is like literally mind-blowing, quite literally mind-blowing because I don't know how I got here. And let me frickin' tell you, day by day, week by week, month by month, your girl doesn't have a plan. Like, I don't have a plan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have went dark on my podcast for a few weeks while I figured out my next step. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just have to show up for that first step and really trust that the next steps are going to be shown to us. And that is what I have been shown time and time again. There's so many avenues and outlets of my business that I didn't have that vision. I didn't know that I wanted or needed to create that for myself. I didn't even know that some of these were going to be the directions that I was going to be going. But I was brave enough to show up for what I thought was the first step. I was brave enough to start searching for jobs. I was brave enough to decide that I was going to try something on my own. I was brave enough to go get an LLC. I was brave enough to put myself out there online. And truly, like, that's what it takes. It just takes you being a little bit brave, and you don't need a sleepover. You don't need a room full of people telling you this is the greatest idea ever. You don't even need anybody to understand what it is that you're trying to create, because truth be told, if I were waiting on a stamp of approval to begin my business, that I didn't get that. I got a lot of looks of like, you're going to do what? What's the plan? Where are you going with this? And that's another thing that holds us back is like, not everybody's going to understand your vision. Your vision is for you. It was given to you for a very specific reason. It wasn't given to everybody else. So you don't need anybody else to understand it, to approve of it, to even accept it for you to start moving forward with what it is that you are wanting in your life. So this is your permission slip, you guys. And like, please take this for me because it's so surreal to me that I'm going into year 5. Because am I where I thought I would be? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know what? There are parts of my business that I'm way further in that I didn't anticipate. There are things that I'm doing that I didn't expect to be doing. So it's never going to look exactly as we think, but that's the fun of it. Like that's the adventure behind it, right? And that's the excitement behind it. So yes, it's big and scary, and yes, it feels bold, and yes, it requires you to be courageous, but that's only like a very small piece of the picture and the puzzle, because once you start putting the pieces together, it gets really exciting. And then you start to see this even bigger picture that you wouldn't even allow yourself to see when you first started. So you don't even need this permission slip from me, but I want to give it to you anyway, because I think that for me, when I started out on this whole journey of entrepreneurship, I was looking at the people that were giving me the permission slip, that were acting boldly, that were showing up and following their dreams, even when it made no logical sense or when they didn't know how to get there. Those were the people that I was looking to for inspiration. So truly, like, find your people, find the people. Like, you don't have to listen to your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your sister, your best friend that maybe don't understand the direction that you're going or why you would change whatever it is in your life that you're trying to move through. Find the people out there that are doing it. Find the people out there that are already walking the path that you can look to for guidance, and start looking more to yourself for the permission slip and for the stamp of approval. Because if you know that something is meant for you, and even if you're not even 100% sure, but you keep getting this hit over and over again, or you keep thinking about it, or you can't help but let your mind wander of what if, that is your sign that this thing is meant for you. So you have the power to give yourself the permission slip. And if that feels big and that feels scary, then I am handing it to you right now. Think bigger, put yourself out there, and do start talking about it. We've talked about this one, but do start talking about what it is that you want to create, because that is going to help you keep getting those inspiration. That's going to help you meet the right people. And you just never know what's going to happen. You know, one other thing I want to share about this whole podcast situation is that I was like, I'm just going to try this out and see how it goes. One day I hope to have my own studio, but that's not the case right now. But as I pulled into this parking lot today, I just had this like hit of like, what if this is like, I'm going to meet the person that's going to help me, because this is like a media, they do all sorts of things, not just podcasts. And there's so much that I could learn. There's so much that I could improve in what I'm putting online. I mean, the sky isn't even the limit, right? And so it's like, yeah, I don't know the answer. I don't know if this is like the fit yet. I have no idea, but I'm here. I'm showing up for it. The people that I just met are fabulous. And I'm like, what if this is it? What if this is the thing that like takes me, leaps and bounds in the podcast production and my vision for my podcast? So you never know until you try. But you got to show up for it, and you gotta make moves that it's like, I had this thought too of like, well, am I going to record this podcast in this space? And then what if I don't want to do it anymore? What if I still want to do it at my house sometimes, which I will, trust me. Because the rule book says that you should be recording your podcast in the same place every single time. That's just what the rules say. I don't make the rules, and I also tend to not follow the rules. And so here we are, because I'm willing to try, and I'm willing to see what is out there for me, and I'm willing to shake some shit up, especially if I'm getting bored or I'm getting uninspired. That's usually your biggest biggest sign that it's time to shake it up. It's time to get out there. It's time to do something different. Maybe it's time to meet some new people. Maybe it's time to put yourself in a new setting. So take this conversation and run with it. Please, 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 please take this conversation and run with it. If there's something that's on your heart, it is meant for you. I promise you that. Giving you full permission to do the damn thing. I will be chatting with you all so very soon. Have a great day.